She looked holy on the outside, but carried a storm inside. Every night Rebecca prayed, every night she cried, her hands lifted to heaven, while her body was chained in silence. What if I told you that the real battle wasn't in her body, but in her soul, and that one unexpected encounter would expose the demon she never knew she had, and lead her to a freedom she never imagined? Stay until the end. This isn't just a story, it's a war, and you might be in it too. The choir's harmonies filled the sanctuary with a sound that could melt even the hardest hearts. Sunday morning. Light spilled through the stained glass windows, casting soft hues of red, gold, and blue onto the polished pews. And there she stood, Rebecca Dawson, on the second row, with her hands lifted high, her eyes closed, and her lips whispering, "Holy, holy, holy." To everyone else, she was a model of purity. 24, beautiful and devoted, Rebecca was the daughter of Pastor Charles Dawson. She led the youth Bible study, organized women's prayer meetings, and sang in the worship team. No one in Grace Hill Christian Church would have ever imagined that the girl so on fire for Jesus was also burning inside, because behind closed doors, Rebecca was drowning in a cycle of shame. Each night, after the worship ended and the lights went out, she faced her true struggle. It began subtly, an image on social media, a video thumbnail she didn't scroll past fast enough, a scene in a movie she accidentally left playing too long. Then came the whispers. "Just a little more won't hurt. You already failed yesterday, what's the point now?" And slowly, the desire crept back in. The same urge, the hunger, the pull. Rebecca didn't talk to anyone about it, not her father, not her friends. She couldn't. She was supposed to be the example, the one others looked up to. But at night, with trembling fingers and tears down her cheeks, she gave in again and again. The worst part wasn't even the act, it was what followed. Silence. Not from the world, but from heaven. She felt like her prayers hit the ceiling and bounced back. Her worship felt dry. Her joy was fading. Every time she looked in the mirror, the voice returned, "You're a fraud." That Sunday morning, as she left the church building, she smiled and hugged the congregation. But her soul felt distant, as though she were wrapped in invisible chains. As she got into her car and closed the door, she gripped the steering wheel tightly and whispered to herself, "God, I'm tired of this. I can't keep doing this. If you're still listening, please help me." Little did she know, God was already preparing the answer, and it would come through someone completely unexpected. Monday came, with the soft patter of rain tapping on Rebecca's window pane. She sat on her bed, Bible open in her lap, yet her eyes weren't moving. They were fixed, blurry with unshed tears. She had made another promise to God the night before. She had broken it again. Guilt sat on her shoulders like a backpack full of stones. She was supposed to teach the youth group that evening, yet she couldn't even look herself in the mirror. "How can I talk about purity," she thought, "when I feel so dirty?" She reached for her phone to send a cancellation text, but before she could type a word, a message popped up. "New discipleship class starts today at 6 p.m. Open to all. Led by Elias Rivers." Elias Rivers. The name was familiar. He was the quiet, 30-something counselor who had recently joined the church staff. Tall, calm, always wearing a soft smile that seemed to see past people's facades. She'd heard he had come from another state and had a heart for helping people with inner struggles. For a moment, Rebecca stared at the screen. Then, without fully knowing why, she stood up, grabbed her raincoat, and whispered, "Maybe it's time." The church felt different on Monday evening. Fewer people, dimmer lighting. But somehow, it was in this quiet that Rebecca felt her walls begin to tremble. She entered the small prayer room where the class was held. About 10 people sat in a circle of chairs. No one was talking. They were waiting. Then he walked in. Elias Rivers. "Good evening," he said, his voice gentle but steady. "We're not here to pretend. We're not here to impress. We're here to be real with ourselves, with God, and with each other. If you came here hoping to stay the same, you're in the wrong room. But if you're tired of hiding, you're exactly where you need to be." His eyes scanned the room. They stopped on her for just a second. It wasn't judgment. It wasn't even curiosity. It was understanding. Rebecca sat frozen. The session continued. Elias spoke of strongholds, of inner chains that no one else could see. He read from 2 Corinthians 10:4. "The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. They have divine power to demolish strongholds." Those words echoed inside her. Strongholds, chains. She knew exactly what he meant. "Some of you are battling things no one knows about," he said. "You lift your hands in worship but feel chained inside. You cry out to God but feel like your voice is too stained to reach him. I want to tell you today, shame is not your identity." Her eyes welled up. No one had said that to her before. When the session ended, people lingered, chatted quietly. Rebecca remained seated. Elias walked over slowly. "Thank you for coming," he said. "Sometimes the hardest part is just showing up." Rebecca nodded, unable to find words. He looked at her gently. "You don't have to tell me anything, but know this. Chains only break in the light. Whatever you're carrying, you don't have to carry it alone." And with that, he smiled and walked away. Rebecca sat there long after the room emptied, and for the first time in a long while, she didn't feel completely alone. That night, Rebecca stood in front of her bedroom mirror longer than usual. The reflection staring back wasn't just her. It was the version of her she tried to hide. Hair loose, makeup gone, heart bare. "Who even are you anymore?" she whispered to herself. She glanced over at the open Bible on her nightstand. Elias's. A voice echoed in her mind. Shame is not your identity. She wanted to believe it. She truly did, but the pull was still there. The moment she lay down, her thoughts began to wander, as if an invisible hand was trying to lead her back to the same trap, the same old cycle. And then, just like always, came the whisper, "God won't help you. It's who you are now. Just once more, then you'll stop." She closed her eyes tightly, tears threatening to spill. But tonight, she did something different. She got out of bed, walked to her desk, and opened her journal. With shaky hands, she began to write, "Lord, I am not okay. I need help. I'm tired of hiding. I don't want to be this person anymore. Please don't give up on me." As she wrote, a warmth spread in her chest, like a flicker of hope she hadn't felt in months. It didn't erase the temptation, but it pierced the darkness with something new, light. The next day, Rebecca arrived at the discipleship class early. Elias was setting up chairs when she walked in. He looked up, surprised. "You're early." She smiled nervously. "I didn't want to lose the courage." He nodded and offered her a chair. "How are you really doing?" She hesitated, then said it out loud for the first time in her life. "I'm struggling with lust, with impurity. I feel like I'm wearing a mask every day, and I hate it. I want to be free." The room was silent for a moment. Then Elias nodded slowly and said, "Thank you for trusting me with that. You're not alone, Rebecca. You're not dirty. You're not broken beyond repair." He opened his Bible and turned it toward her, Romans 8:1. "Therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." The words hit like a wave. She'd read them before, but never like this. "The enemy wants you to believe your identity is your struggle," Elias continued, "but God sees your future, not your failure." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I don't want to live like this anymore," she said. Elias nodded. "Then you won't. But this isn't a one-time prayer. It's a journey. we'll walk it together, and God will walk every step with you. And in that moment, Rebecca felt something shift, not just in the room, not just in her emotions, but in her spirit. For the first time in years, she felt the chains loosen.